last Labour government we're ever going to see. Thank God.
I think it is.
I really
the
think
end of the Labour Party. They are a farce.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in Parliament are a farce. The MPs are a farce. You know,
how could you say that about David Lammy or Rachel Reeves?
Honestly, Carl, I went into Parliament thinking I've been in business all my life. These people must be able, they must be bright, they must know something. But let me tell you definitively, they know nothing. And these are the people making the decisions. These are the people who are trying to hold the civil service to account. Ministers are supposed to basically decide and advisors advise. But if the ministers don't know what they're deciding about, they can't hold the other people to account. So what our system has done is created this pool, this genetic pool of almost reverse Darwinism, where we have the weakest people making the biggest decisions. And gradually what's happened is state has accreted power to the extent that it accounts for at least 50% of GDP if you take all the sort of indirect state bodies. And as one of my biggest donors observed, he said, the problem is, and he's a great guy, I said, he said, the problem is, and I'm going to quote him, I'm not going to say who he is, but I'm going to quote him because he's brilliant, and we're sending him the policy, because policy is our next plan, big policy documents coming out on lots of stuff, because I think we know how to rebuild the country, if people believe in what we're doing. But he said, if you spend your own money when you go to a restaurant, you get value. If you spend somebody else's money, you probably get some value, but probably less value than if you're spending your own money. If you've got other people spending other people's money, which is what we have now with the state, you get no value. That's why you get deficient contracts like the Bibi Stockholm contract, which was presided over by Braverman, who was then Home Secretary, Jenrick, who was, I think, Employment Minister at the time, Immigration Minister at the time. So 1.5 billion given to some abstruse Bradford company. Honestly, Carl, what happens is what happens. It's fraud. Fraud creeps in. And what happens is the agents start to take money round the back, and you get the breakdown of a sort of Protestant ethic, which is what's founded Britain. You get dishonesty on a grand scale. And I actually think that's what's happened in our judiciary, in our police, in our social services, in our NHS. I mean, the NHS is just a fraud. It's a complete fraud.